In today's video, we're going to be looking at how we change a H7 dipped beam bulb in this Transporter T6.1. Welcome to Combi Van Life. Right, so we had a warning light come up, a warning message come up on the dashboard, which is this. Apart from that being outside temperature 0, all the snow's gone now, but in a second we should see a warning message come up. There we have it, that's the warning message that came up. Check dipped beam, which looks like that in the infotainment system. And it's pretty good, it actually tells you which one it is. Please check right dipped beam headlight. So let's turn the ignition off. Pop the bonnet. Have a look what we're dealing with. So at the moment we've only got the side lights on. So let's turn the ignition on first, turn that to main beam. And you can see this one's on, that one's out. So what we're going to do is replace this bulb. We're not going to use the standard bulbs that came with it, or the equivalents, because they're not very good. So we're switching to these highly recommended Osram H15 Nightbreaker 220s. So much brighter. I'll put a link to this. I got these off Amazon. I'll put a link down below as to which ones you want to get, and I'll show you now exactly how we replace that. It's not hard. It's fiddly though, especially on this side, and not easiest when it's 0 degrees outside. At least the snow's gone. So let's turn the ignition back off. We don't need that on now. I'm going to take my glove off. I'll tell you why I've got gloves on in a second. Oh, not only because it's cold, but you don't want to be touching the bulb face. So in there, it's this one here. That one that we need to get to. Now you could take all this off to make the access a bit easier. I have had a go to see if you can do it without, and you can. It's not that difficult, it's just fiddly, there's not a lot of space here. So you're working blind really. This side, when you need to replace that next to the battery tray, loads more space. So I'm going to be replacing both of those, but what I'll do is I'll replace just that one to begin with, leave that one on the standard bulb, and then tonight when it's darker I'll put them both on. You'll be able to see the difference between the standard bulbs and these Osram H7s. Right, so let's see if I can prop this up in the engine bay here somewhere. So here, there's a clip, this silver clip. And just flick that off, and then there's a plastic cover, this, which falls off. You don't want that dropping down into the engine bay, so you then just take that out, prop that up there, and then comes the fiddly bit. Just get your hand in here, and you're okay not to wear gloves on this bit. You just don't want to touch the bulb. It doesn't matter on this one because it's blown, but when you put the new one in, so you put your hand in there and you'll feel the plug on the back of the bulb, a square plug with wires coming out of it. Just kind of get your fingers, I found, get these 3 fingers around it, just wiggle it and pull it away, doesn't turn, it just pulls out that way. So you gently wiggle it and you'll feel it loosening up. There. And then it comes out like that. See that? So it's out like that. So you need to now get this bulb off the plug. Same sort of process. Hold the metal bit, hold the plug, plastic bit at the bottom. Make a note of which way around this is. Now I've tried this both ways. It doesn't seem to make a difference because of the way it pushes into the lamp holder inside. So this, I don't think matters which way this is round, but I put it the same way anyway. So hold the plug, this bit, hold the rim of the bulb, and again gently wiggle, gently, and then pull that off like that. So this is the bulb that's blown. So put that up there and we'll get our night breakers. Now these new bulbs with halogens, you do not want to touch the actual bulb surface because the oils and grease in your hands can seriously reduce the life of that bulb. So just be wary of that. So you're okay to touch the metal parts, just don't touch that part with your fingers anyway. Which is why I've got these on. So I'm going to get this socket, plug this back into here. Whoop. There, he's in. There we go, that's the new bulb in the bulb holder. And then, again, you're working blind. What I found is get it in the hole as best you can. And again, make sure you don't touch that bulb. And then, the easiest thing I found now is to look in there. And you can see then, if you've got it lined up. Very hard to do holding the camera. So I'm going to put that down. Yeah, and then that just clicks in. So you just push it in, wiggle it around till you feel it's seated, and then it just clicks in. And then he's in there nicely like that. Then we need to get this cover back on. So just make sure that's properly seated. So put your fingers on the back of the plug and just give it a little wiggle. There shouldn't be any movement. You don't want it falling out, so there's no movement on that. Now these two parts here slot down. There's two little sort of holes down the bottom. Those slot into, that slots in. Pull it forward and then put the metal clamp back over the top. Again, very fiddly. You don't want to drop it down into the engine bay. So you just get your fingers on the bottom of it till you feel that it's on there. You're trying to hold that metal bit out the way first. There, you know where it's on. And then once you've got the bottom bit clipped in, push it at the top, just flick that over there, and we're in. Done. As I say, easy job, fiddly. You know, yeah, you could take that off. I just couldn't be bothered to take that off. That would give you so much more clearance. But you can do it. I had to go the first time. It was way quicker than that time. So it's getting that bulb back in is the hardest bit. Now let's go and turn the ignition on. See if it works. See if our warning light's gone. Let's have a look. Oh, actually, what I'll do is close the bonnet down, because otherwise it gives me a warning that the bonnet's up when I turn the ignition on. Make sure we put everything back and we don't slam the bonnet down on something. Looks good. Right. Now, hopefully, we won't get a warning message come up. Outside temperature 1 degree, it's gone up a little bit. And all good. If we go into our vehicle menu here, vehicle status good, that's where the warning came up. As soon as I went into vehicle status, the warning message came up. It's picked up the bulb as being replaced. We'll start the engine and go outside and see what it looks like. It's daytime, it's quite bright, it's cold, but it's quite bright, so it's hard to see any difference in the bulbs. But there we go. You can see it's a different colour to that side light bulb. Now I will be replacing those side light bulbs, and I'll put a link to which ones those are for the equivalents to these Osram Night Breakers. And that one's a slightly different colour as well, but I don't know if you can see any difference. It is a brighter white, that one. Be interested to see tonight what that looks like. We'll shine it at the wall here with the lights when it's dark to see what difference it looks like. So it's darker now. I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like, the difference between the Night Breakers and the standard H7 bulbs that come in the Transporter as normal. So I'll set you up here, right in the middle, and then I'm going to go and turn the van on and see if you can see the difference. And there we go. Night Breaker on that side, on the left, or on the right, the driver's side. Left side is we're looking at it here. And the standard Volkswagen lights on the right, or passenger side. Hopefully you can see a difference there. No, I can. What we need to do now is just replace the other one. That's the Night Breaker. That's the standard bulb. So there we have it. That's what the Night Breakers look like. I'll do another video when I replace the DRLs with better bulbs in those. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. If you want to check out another video on how to top up your AdBlue and how to change the display so it displays as litres and not gallons, so you know how much you're putting in, check out this video next.